What is up, guys? Adrian here from Launch TV, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back at Universal Studios Florida, and for one reason only. Well, it's actually two, but I digress. The Halloween Horror Nights Horror Night Nightmares Speculation Map version 2 has released. Meaning that I'm going to go into this park and show you where everything is speculated to be, and my opinions on the things that are speculated at the moment. So, very excited. Let's get in there. Let's have some fun. Now, before going in, I do have to say we have a couple of changes to this map from version 1 to version 2. For example, now we know some of the scare zones. We do know that 3 out of the 10 houses have remained untouched. And man, there's a lot of changes. So, can't wait to talk about this. It's going to be fun. And as I go around, I'm going to tell you the locations based on where they were last year, so that you guys have more of an idea. And well, let's get in there, let's have some fun, and just enjoy ourselves today. As I go around the park, you will see some construction walls and things of that nature. And if you just wait a little bit, or till tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing yet, you will be able to watch a Universal Studios Florida construction update as well. But for now, look at Minion Mayhem. Now the first entrance we have is right over here, which last year was Hellblock Horror. And now this year, well, in a little bit of a twist of events, it is Demon Slayer. And if I'm being completely honest with you, like 110%, I have never seen a single episode of Demon Slayer. I do not know anything about Demon Slayer, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, I'm so excited. I don't know anything about it. But I will say this, anything is positive, and anything can be amazing. I will always say this when it comes down to haunted houses. I did not like, at all, whatsoever, House of a Thousand Corpses, the movie, the source material. The haunted house was phenomenal. So, looking at this in a positive light beam, I do believe this can be a very good house. Hopefully. And I know a lot of people like Demon Slayer, but I don't know. It might be one of those things that's like a red herring, but who knows? Now right here we have Production Central, which at the moment is an unknown scare zone, but we typically have like our all together, everyone hold hands scare zone here. By that I mean like a table of contents type of scare zone is usually what we have over here in Production Central, which is now Illumination Avenue. So can't wait to see what's going to be the first scare zone technically in Illumination Ave. But now we're going to go over here to the Music Plaza stage and see what's going on over here, because on the speculation map, this is going to be the Exorcist reboot that is by Blumhouse, and it's called The Exorcist Believer. And now last year, this was the house that was called Spirits of the Coven, and I did enjoy that house. It wasn't the best house. It was not my favorite house at all, but it was something that was enjoyable, and I can't wait to see what it ends up being like when it's all said and done. But as of right now, this is highly speculated, and can't wait to see what it's going to be. And right here at Race Studio New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, is where we will find our next haunted house. And this one was Halloween last year, and this year on the entire speculation map is the only thing that is confirmed already by Universal, and that is Chucky. So it means for the 3rd year in a row, according to the speculation map, we will be getting another slasher in this location. And if you guys are wondering why I say that, last year we had Halloween, and the year before we had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this year, it being Chucky would be a perfect 1, 2, 3. But who knows if this is where Chucky will be. He could be anywhere around the park. He could be everywhere in the park. But for right now, this is where he's speculated to be located. And of course, in New York, we also have 2 other houses, and those are going to be down here by the New York Library. And like I said, we will have 2 house entrances over here, with the first one on the left being what was Festival of Chupacabras last year. And this year, the only thing we have for it is a picture of a city that has a 5-pointed star within a circle. And now this confuses me a little bit, because it could be a multitude of different things. It could be some kind of cult, it could be some kind of witchcraft house, maybe some kind of mystery house. I have no idea what this is whatsoever at all. But for now, it is really cool to see that the speculation map isn't just telling you what things is anymore. It's kind of just letting you guess, which is kind of exciting altogether. And then over here on the right, in which we had Dead Man's Wharf last year, which was a beautiful house. This year we have a picture of a castle with a little dragon. And of course, this is obviously Shrek. No, I'm kidding. But this can either be a medieval house, a dragon's lair, maybe even call me crazy, something tied into the Lost Continent, because, well, it's basically going away with Poseidon's Fury closing in about a week. So who knows, but that right now is what is speculated for this corner. We do have that. It is the picture of the city and the picture of the dragon. And then straight down here, New York, is where we have our very first scare zone that is speculated for this haunt season, and that is Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. And if you're confused by that, essentially Naughty Dog is the one that made the video game The Last of Us, not the series that is on HBO Max. So basically, this is rumored to be the video game version of The Last of Us. And I love this property. I've talked about it immensely when it was speculated as a house, and it still is speculated as a house, by the way. And it's cool because it's also in video game form, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But what does this mean about HBO Max? Did they just say, hey, no, we don't want you to do the TV show, we want you to do the video game? Is this something tying deeper to HBO not wanting to work with Universal? Or is it just us being speculators? Who knows? I am excited to see this. Granted, it is another zombie-related thing, and people will probably be upset because they don't like zombies anymore for some reason, but we haven't seen zombies here since 2016, and I'm okay with seeing a couple zombies here. And now we are back here by Fast and Furious Supercharged, and we had a haunted house entrance right over here last year, and that was the Horrors of Blumhouse, and it was the first time they ever used this location, and honestly, they did so well with the space they were given. So I can't wait to see what this top secret haunted house is going to be. Now, it can be so many things. There's a lot of different properties can be thrown around. Could be something like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't have an idea, so I'm just gonna spitball here. Stephen King's it. Stranger Things. I have no idea. Scream, that's a pipe dream for me. But the tent's there. I don't know if you guys can see it behind the tree. There's a tent right there. Oh man, this is very exciting. I love seeing Horror Nights construction. This is like the only visual we have for construction for Horror Nights as of right now. So, can't wait to see it. Very excited for whatever this is going to be. And if, of course, it isn't the same like on the actual speculation map, relax. Relax. When it gets announced, we'll find out if this is the location and where that location is. We usually don't know the exact location of haunted houses until basically opening day or the week of opening week. So, be patient with everyone. And now, after bouncing off of that Fast and Furious location, we are walking into San Francisco, in which at the moment there is no known scare zone speculation wise, but this is obviously rumored to be a scare zone location in general. It's always a tight and claustrophobic zone, so I wonder if they're ever going to expand on it or if it's just going to stay the same exact size. I guess we'll find out in due time, but for right now, we don't know what's going here, but we do know something is going here, potentially, according to the speculation map. And now I will bring back my running theme of telling you that nothing is coming to Diagon Alley, and it is the place you can come to relax when it comes down to Horror Nights. You know how they say there's no safe places during Halloween Horror Nights? There's no safe zones? Well, a giant safe zone is Diagon Alley. For now. Who knows? Anything can happen. Maybe we'll start to see something like Dementors, but I highly doubt that. But for right now, nothing's going here. Hopefully soon, because that'll be amazing and immersive. Going away from Diagon Alley, we are here at the Fear Factor live stage show, Bill and Ted Theater, whatever you want to call it. But this year we have the returning rumor of Nightmare Fuel. And of course, nothing's confirmed. Now, I have heard speculations and rumors that there's a 5-year contract, but for right now, just rumored to be Nightmare Fuel. Who knows how long the stage will be here, but we have to enjoy it for now because it's Lifeline. It's coming to a close very soon, but they've also been saying that for like the past 10 years, but who knows what's gonna happen. And now back here, this is where we had Bugs Eaten Alive. Now I have a huge question mark here because I know Men in Black 10's not coming back. However, there is that potentially chance, but 100% I feel as if it won't happen. But this is speculated on the map as a picture of a tent with smoke behind it. And honestly, who knows what that can be. There's so many different options, but I can say either like a clown maze or a carnival of sorts. Who knows, maybe we'll see Dr. Oddfellow. He's been teased for years, but as of right now, that's all we know. I just really want to know if this is going to do the same thing Bugs did, or we're going to have to walk all the way to the sprung tents, or if it's going to be right there with the Men in Black tent, which I highly doubt, but who knows. But with that being said, if we go over there to those tents, what does that mean for those? We'll get there now and I'll tell you what's there. Well, speculated to be there. And well, I just talked about them, but over here we have two speculated house locations. Right there and right there, which is how it used to be set up, where we had two houses here. But this is where I think things are going to get a little tricky. But before I get into that, over here, the speculated thing is just an emoji of a devil. Now, that can literally be anything. Could we be going to HE double hockey sticks or somewhere else? Well, that's that location. Over here, it is speculated to be Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. But this is where we see one of those changes to that speculation map. As last time we looked at this, the location was over there next to Simpsons. Now it's here again, which if they're using the tent over there, which they're not using that tent, they're using that entrance portal to come all the way behind Men in Black to go to the tent right there on that side. Is this right here going to be the entrance to one of the parade buildings? If so, that's going to be a hike. But I wouldn't be mad because it's supposed to be Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. And I know that's kind of weird. You would think a scare zone and a house based on the same property. But it's happened before. 2013. What was that? The Walking Dead zombies. Now granted, I don't want the entire streets to be The Walking Dead or The Last of Us, but this is the most way to milk a property or get the most out of the property that you can, because you never know if something like this is going to come back again. And the best way to test waters with something is to do it twice, and doing them both at the same time, you can really see how popular it is, and you can see if people truly want video game properties at the event or if they don't. But I can see a lot of people getting upset if this ends up being the truth, due to the fact that they would probably want to see the show and not so much the video game. However, I would be happy with either or. But for now, we're going to go through Simpsons and then all the way down to Kid Zone, because that is where our next house location is speculated to be. But before we get there, I do want to say this. I wonder if the hordes are going to come back. Gotta mention that, right? Oh, Kid Zone, how you're missed already. You're one of my favorite places to go. You always gave me all the best scares too. Well, not because of any scare actors, just because, like, Woody Woodpecker is genuinely a scary bird. But, of course, the typical two-house location entrances back here isn't possible right now. Because, well, if you didn't know, Kid Zone's all closed off and walled off. So, why do we have one house entrance speculated to be over here? And that is for Universal Monsters Paris. Well, that is because if you've seen anywhere recently, they have this new walking path over here for E.T. The entrance is a little bit different, and my guess, my huge guess, is that it's a test of sorts to see how they can get people to and from a haunted house in a very tight vicinity. But I'm not sure. Gonna get here now so you guys can see more or less what I'm talking about, because the entrance itself to ET, if you look, closed off behind walls. But the actual entrance to the attraction is over here. So, like, you see it right there. It's so weird. The entrance to the attraction's right here. And if you were to walk back here, you would think the attraction's closed, but no. It's odd. But I guess we'll find out what time. But as of right now, this is just, it's weird to me. And now as we leave Kid Zone, we will start going into Central Park here, in which there is a speculated scare zone here. And now the scare zone is now speculated to be holidays. And not just regularly spelled holidays. Think of it in like a Hollywood manner, in which it's holidays with a Z at the end. And this Holidays in Hell, but as a scare zone here for Orlando. Something that I've wanted to see for a really long time. And now we did have Krampus originally speculated as a house here, but then that looks like it hit the fan. However, maybe that was just something that was leading us to this. And I can just imagine all the different types of holidays here. Now, we did have Trick or Treat here and Twisted Tradition, so we did see what does it look like in a Halloween aspect. Now, what would it look like with all the other corresponding holidays as well? All right, and now we're going from the Central Park Scare Zone into Central Park itself, because over here is where we usually have a show. However, on the speculation map, it does say show. However, I'm not 100% sure if it's pointing towards the lagoon or if it's pointing towards right there where those lights are for Grad Bash, because we have had a stage show here in the past, whether it was Academy of Villains or whether it was the Carnage Returns for Jack. So there's that, but there's also this over here, which we know potentially will not be the same like Marathon of Mayhem, or what was it called last year? I don't really remember the name of the Lagoon Show last year because we only had it for like 2 weeks and then it was gone forever. But it was really cool to see. It was a nice little traditional take on Halloween. But if you see right here, everything is gone that was from this Lagoon Show. But we will hopefully see something new soon. Maybe sometime around the summer we'll have a new show, whether it's a drone show, a new Lagoon Show. You always need to up your entertainment in the park, and you don't always want it to be the same, which is why you're seeing this park go through so many changes. But as of right now, that speculated show, I think I'm leaning more towards it being something there, but that seems like it'll be a capacity nightmare due to what we've seen in the past when it came to a show being there. But I would much rather see a Lagoon Show, but who knows what's gonna happen. But now, after talking about that show, I do want to say something else about Holidays in Hell, or well, just Holidays. I'm kind of excited for it, but also on the fence, because I don't know what holidays will be portrayed here. I'm hoping it's all of them. Let me get a little bit of everything here, but I'll be kind of sad if it's just like Christmas and Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? I want to see Christmas, Valentine's Day, 4th of July. Make it HR Blood and Guts' house as a scare zone. Make that an HR Blood and Guts zone. You won't. You won't. But hey, I'm throwing that out there. HR Blood and Guts, please come and give us some amazing holiday houses. Well, streets. And speaking of streets, we have one last street here for us to go down, and that is Hollywood. And now Hollywood is here. Last year, this was Graveyard Deadly Unrest, which was one of the best scare zones we've ever had at Horror Nights. But right now, it is speculated to be, well, unknown. Nothing is speculated to be here right now at all whatsoever. However, be patient. Like I've been saying, this is version 2. A lot of things can and will change, so we'll see very soon. And of course, since the last time that I was here, the tribute store has closed. But will this be the Horror Nights tribute store, or will it be somewhere else? Who knows? I don't know. But very excited to see what comes and what it will be. And speaking of tribute store and merchandise, I'll show you the opposite side. Of course, we still have this See You in the Fog merchandise, which is glorious. Still haven't bought it, but I will soon. It glows in the dark. It will be a must cop soon. Not right now for me though, but eventually. Looks like the candles are all gone, but they still have the magnets, the cups, and the hats. Positive thing to see. And then also, I love 5 and Dime because it has so much different like merchandise for horror, because it is kind of the gift shop for the horror makeup show. So you have a bunch of different options here of merchandise that you can obtain when it comes down to horror. And you can also come in here and see some of the monsters. You can see Gilman, the Wolfman, Bride, Frankenstein, and Drac. Yeah, it's always a cool thing to come in here and look at some of the merchandise that they have, because you never know what you'll find, and some things will shock you and surprise you. Like they have some of that Chucky merchandise from last year's Horror Nights right here. Pretty sure on the back it says like Stitches. Yeah, Stitches get stitches. It's cool. And if you guys don't remember, earlier I did say Chucky is getting a house, so keep that in mind. We'll be getting a new Horror Nights Chucky shirt, or is this going to be the same one they release? I hope not. I hope it does something with the TV show where it gives us like Chucky's name written out by like knives or something, but this is all we have for right now. And well, that's that when it comes down to the Horror Nights speculation map. Altogether, I'm kind of really excited for it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Can't wait for some more announcements, hopefully very, very soon. But for right now, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Horror Night Nightmares for putting out a new speculation map. And remember, speculation is always fun. It's always scary, but we don't know the event until everything's announced. So be optimistic, And well, can't wait to see you guys in the vlog. Say it to my dudes.